Hi friends, welcome back to my kitchen. If you saw my meatloaf recipe, you know that one, not only is it a very popular, successful video, but you also know that it is really, really good. Well, I just have this idea that came to me. I have a pound of ground beef to use up, and I thought, how about I take my meatloaf recipe and I make meatballs out of it? Come with me, let's give it a try. I think they are going to be amazing. So my original meatloaf recipe, I always make it with at least 2 pounds of beef. I only have 1 pound of ground beef that I need to use up today. So I'm going to cut my recipe down a little bit. For every pound of ground beef that I use for this recipe, I use 1 egg. So today I will only need 1 egg. Some grated onion, green pepper. My eyes are burning from those onions. We need garlic. I want everything cut up really small for the meatballs. So I'm just going to grate in the garlic. Salt. Pepper. A pinch of chili powder. Just a tad. A 1/4 cup of oats. This is what I like to do. A splash of Worcestershire sauce. And just a pinch of ketchup. If you saw my meatloaf recipe, you also will have noticed that I add Hellmann's olive oil mayo. I was trying to decide whether or not to add it to the meatball recipe. I am going to go ahead and do it. Like so. Because for 2 pounds of ground beef, I use a 1/4 cup of mayo. So think about halving that. That's pretty much what I did. Now I'm going to give this a stir and then form our meatballs. I really just should get in here with my hands. Smells really, really good. Trying not to over mix this, so I'm just folding it in. I decided I am going to use my favorite jarred sauce for today's recipe because I think it would make a great meatball sub or meatballs and spaghetti sauce. So, and because I have this and it's super easy and convenient, I'm going to go this route today. So let's head over to the stove. I've got my pan heating up with oil. I splashed a little water, so that's why it's making that sound. So the way I often cook meatballs, sometimes I do them in the oven, but there are all different ways to do them. But when I do them like this, I brown them on each side, pour in my sauce, turn the heat down to low and cover them for about 12 minutes. Usually my foolproof way to cook meatballs. If you find yourself in a pinch and you want a really, really high quality, excellent spaghetti sauce, marinara, whatever, you can do so many things with this Spaghetti's. It's just my absolute favorite. This is not sponsored. I'm not in it for anything. I just think it's just a fabulous product. And they sell this at my local Kroger. I can link it down below because I've also bought it directly from the company and I've ordered an entire case of it before. That's how much I love it. I'm also going to sprinkle in some red pepper flakes just to give this a little kick. A pinch of oregano. And don't judge me for this, but a pinch of sugar. If you don't like that part, just leave it out. I'm just going to try to give this a little stir before I cover it, just to incorporate everything a little bit better. I'm just turning mine up a tad because my low is really low. And that's it. I'm just going to get it covered, set my timer for 12 minutes, and then I will come back to you a little bit later because now I am going to make some noodles, and then we can give this a taste test and see how this meatball recipe turned out, and we can decide, is it as good as the meatloaf recipe? We'll be back in a little bit. Okay, friends, we are back. It's been a little bit, been walking the dog and doing a bunch of other things since we last spoke, but now I have some noodles made and I have some spaghetti and meatballs ready to taste test. Let's see what we think of this recipe. So excited. First, I am just going to try a bite of the meatball to see what we think about that. Wow. Now I am going to try a bite of the meatball and the spaghetti and the sauce all together. Let's see what this tastes like. I'm so hungry and this is so good. Oh my God. That is so good. I love, like I said before, if you've seen my spaghetti sauce video, I love, and this is once again not sponsored, I have no affiliation with Spaghetti's sauce. I also think they're a restaurant or something, but I don't have any affiliation with them. I just really love this product. It is really, so you can do so many things with it, but in this meatball recipe, wow. It has a lot of flavor to it in and of itself, but then with the meatballs, oh my goodness. Let's try the meatball one more time. I'm sweating, I don't know why. That was not graceful. It's so hard to eat spaghetti. It's so hard to eat on camera and talk about anything at the same time, but it's really hard to eat spaghetti and meatballs and talk about it. Anyway, let's try another bite of the meatball. Oh my Lord. It's divine. Let's just stop there. Who knew? Take your best ever meatloaf recipe and use that as your meatballs. I guess it only makes sense when you really think about all those ingredients. Phenomenal. Make this recipe, get yourself some Spaghetti's. I'm never a proponent of jarred sauce until I discovered this. And it's often my go-to because I just love it so much, and it's just as good, if not better, than when I make my own homemade sauce. So, wow. Try this recipe. You will not be disappointed. I just want to say thank you so much for hanging out with me in the kitchen today. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, I can pop another video right here for you to check out between now and my next upload. Please subscribe to this channel and give it a thumbs up. I would be forever grateful. I upload every other day and I can't wait to see you next time.